Good morning, student. After the general characters of a chordate and the difference between non-chordate and chordate, today we will see the next topic, that is introduction to group protochordata. From this second topic, we will see the first bit, salient features of protochordata. Let's see the salient feature of protochordata. This is Greek word. Protos means first and chordi means the chord. These protochordates are also called acronia. A means absent and cranion means the head. Head is absent into this individual. That's why they are called as the acronia. And they are primitive chordate. That's why they are called as a protochordate. All these protochordates are exclusively marine water individual. They are smaller in size or they are primitive chordates. All these protochordates are lacking the cranium, jaws, vertebral column and paired appendages. So these things are absent. That's why they comes under this group protochordata. There are about 2000 species of the protochordata are present on the earth. These protochordates are again subdivided into three subphyla. The first subphyla is hemichordata. Hemi means half and chordi means the chord. And examples of this hemichordata are Balanoglossus, Saccoglossus, Rhabdopleura, etc. The second one is Urochordata, means aura means the tail and chordi means the chord. And the examples are Herdmania, Salpa, Doliolum, etc. These urochordates are also called as tunicate, and as the individual lives in test or tunic. And the peculiar thing in this individual is that the larva of this individual or these urochordates are having the notochord, but as the larva develop into adult, the notochord is going to be disappear. That means it shows the retrogressive metamorphosis, the metamorphosis which occur but it is reverse. So that is the peculiarity of urochordate. Then the third one is cephalochordate. So the cephali means the head and chordi is the chord. And the examples are Amphioxus, Ursimetron. So this is about the cephalochordate. This is the first group of protochordates in which the notochord which persists throughout life, means it starts from the head up to the caudal regions or the tail regions, and it remain as it is throughout life of the urochordates. So as from these three subphyla, the cephalochordates are said to be the individuals which bear or which show all the basic features or the fundamental characters of chordate. So likewise, these are three subphyla of protochordate: hemichordate, urochordate and cephalochordate. So here are this figure or representative examples of all these three subphyla. First figure shows the Balanoglossus, which belongs from the hemichordata, and the second one is the Herdmania, which belongs from urochordata, and third one is about the Amphioxus or the Branchiostoma, which belongs from cephalochordata. So likewise, these are the representative examples of these three subphyla, and all these kinds of the distinguishing groups are on the basis of the notochord, which founds all in these three groups. The number first subphyla is Hemichordata, which represented this notochord by stomochord to the proboscis region. This type of notochord is doubtful, so it has now been placed in a separate phyla. So about this Hemichordata, it is a vermiform animal, marine water animal, and these kinds of the individuals which found into this ocean, just like that of the earthworm, and the notochord which presents at the anterior regions of the body, that is proboscis. So there is a doubt in some scientists, so that it has to be placed in separate phyla. The next subphyla is Urochordata. As I have told you about, all this only the larval form or this tadpole larva which bear the notochord. In Cephalochordata, this notochord which persists throughout life along the whole length of the body. And these protochordates have three basic chordate characters like the notochord, then hollow dorsal nerve cord, and pharyngeal gills. These individuals or this group have a great taxonomic and phylogenetic importance in animal science. They have great affinities and perhaps a common origin with living vertebrates. So this is about the characters of these protochordata or salient features of protochordata. After the salient features, we will move towards the next bit about the Hemichordata. But if you have any doubt or the query on the salient features of the protochordata, please comment in the comment box so that I can solve all your queries. Thank you.